If you are stressed because you are getting ready to have dinner with some of your MAGA family and friends, don't worry, I've got your back. I have spent the last year learning how to compile data, not just memes, but actual data into simple talking points that you can use in real life conversations. So stick around till the end, and I will show you exactly how to download the MAGA-Holiday Survival Kit. And real quick, please like, subscribe, and share with your pro-democracy peeps. Welcome to Political Critical Thinking. I'm Stephanie, and it has been a year since I started this channel. And if you've been with me since then, or you have gone back to watch any of those videos, I think you could say that I started off pretty angry. But here's the thing. I knew that I couldn't stay angry. That's just not how I operate. I have to figure things out. I have to understand why. But after a year of research and going back through American history, how democracies actually fall, the authoritarian playbook, learning about propaganda, and also policies and our own government and how we got here, I get it. This isn't random. This isn't people are dumb. This is a slow, constant infiltration of the mind. And it actually has a blueprint, and it's way before Project 2025. The blueprint starts in 1971 with the Powell Memo. Lewis Powell, a corporate tobacco attorney, wrote a memo, basically lays out a plan for businesses to take back control. See, they were losing control in the 1970s because people were getting certain rights that they didn't like. So you had the civil rights movement, you had the women's rights movement, you had the gay liberation movement. You had all of these people who were standing up saying that they wanted to be treated equally and fairly, and then they were looking at corporations at the exact same time. People like Ralph Nader were holding corporations accountable. So Lewis Powell laid out a plan, and it went a little something like this. Number one, you take over the judiciary. We need judges on our side. Start local, work your way up, and one day, if we hope and pray, we'll get the Supreme Court. Cha-ching, they did. The second one was we need to start creating a narrative that these universities are liberal indoctrination factories, because these kids are going into universities coming out way too smart, way too progressive. So they started putting their own people on the boards, started focusing on how they could change the education system. The third one is the think tanks. They built a pipeline of young, articulate conservatives that you see out in the world today who are grifting, who know that they can be a superstar. Let's be honest about what's happening with the young conservative movement. This is their Hollywood. They hate Hollywood. They hate actors because they tend to be liberal. They needed to create their own Hollywood. And this has nothing to do with where it started, but this is where we are and where we've been going, is that these young people with their fake eyelashes and their long nails and their Tammy Faye Baker look have cultivated this sort of Washington, D.C. la la land where they are the celebrities and everybody else is just pandering to them. But that's not reality, and that's not politics. That's not policy making. That's not legislating. That's just fake. And people believe it to be real. And they bow to it, and they pray to it, and they go and they travel around and follow them. They're groupies. That's what they are. They're MAGA groupies. That's what the MAGA party has become. But here's the biggest piece, and they really couldn't have done any of the other three things without this. They built a media empire. And the first start of that was to destroy the Fairness Doctrine, which is what Ronald Reagan did in his deregulation. And through that, they were able and have been able to consolidate the media. This is not democracy. This is not actually how a free enterprise works. You're not supposed to have one or two companies own all the media. That's insane. But here's the big epiphany I had this year, because this isn't just about MAGA. This is about Democrats too. I feel like the Democratic Party, and hear me out, is like the responsible parent in a divorce. And MAGA is the irresponsible, never shows up, doesn't give a shit about their kid, sometimes comes in drunk and abusive, sometimes is a lot of fun, parent who is just worthless, right? But what happens with the responsible parent? The one parent getting the kid up for school, making sure that the kid has clean clothes, eats breakfast, goes off and learns, comes home, does his homework, maybe some chores, behaves responsibly, and then takes him out to dinner, makes sure he's fed, treats him with love, but also holds him accountable to be a upstanding citizen. Right? This is the parent that gets shit on all the time. It's the other parent who really doesn't even care about the kid, who shows up when they want to show up, if they show up, doesn't feed the kid. If they do, it's like day-old pizza, takes him into a bar with him. This is what we are in. The Democratic Party are the children of divorced parents. And when they're looking at whomever that good parent is, it doesn't matter how much day in and day out the Democratic Party does. When they don't get their one thing, their health care or their $15 federal minimum wage, they blame them. They don't blame the Republicans for not coming to the table to help make it better. And then MAGA, they're tripping over themselves to get attention. I want to be very clear about this. This is not about changing anybody's mind. This information actually shows them how it affects them. But when people do wake up, we want to make sure that they understand how they got here, that if this was a systematic, long-term con to make them hate the Democratic Party. This is not about loving MAGA as much as it's about hating Democrats for some people. So understanding that why they hate Democrats, even why Democrats hate Democrats. The Democratic Party has a long record, a long history of laws, legislation, receipts, of trying to expand fairness, of opportunity, of creating upward mobility, even as imperfect as it is. There are 100 years worth of policies the Democratic Party have put in place that we are living with today that the Republicans have tried to systematically dismantle and are now being effective. We need to make people realize that that's the Democrats that gave them workers' rights. It is the Democrats that made sure that healthcare companies could not deny your claim because of pre-existing problems, which right now, currently, the Trump administration is trying to repeal. But the other side of that coin is this. The other party has a long record of protecting corporate power and using distractions and divisions to undo democracy. This is not about trying to find empathy or commonality or common ground. This is about having facts and no facts. At the end of the day, they can believe whatever they want, and they're going to. You're not going to change them. But when it hits them, when you tell them this is going to happen, they will know why. And it will be because of the Republicans. But when AI takes their jobs, and it's going to take about 300 million jobs, and it's going to be swift and it's going to be very painful. And I will do another video on that. And I know that sounds extreme, but I'm very tapped into that world, and that is what the people who are creating this technology are saying. They are afraid. They're building bunkers so they can get out of Dodge. But the reality is that Biden and Harris put regulations around that. They put programs to retrain Americans, and Trump has given complete carte blanche to the tech companies to just decimate the American people. And that's going to happen. And so if you tell them that and you explain it to them, and I believe that information is on those docs, then they will be able to understand it when it happens. So go into the link and click on the link and fill out the information and download whatever you want. And let me know how it goes. Have a great holiday. Have a wonderful new year, and have a very Merry Christmas. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.
So I built this little MAGA-Holiday kit. I built it with an app. I can do that now. It's very easy, actually. But basically what it is it'll have fact sheets, conversation scripts, data, statistics, response. If you scroll down, you can see there's some additional videos here. You can join the conversation, join our community, subscribe to YouTube, join our Facebook group, follow us on TikTok. And it does say optional for the phone number. I believe that is not optional. I would have fixed it, but I'm kind of in a hurry to get stuff done. So send me a kit and then just access. And then you have all the goodies. So this is an Excel spreadsheet with questions and answers, like a little trivia game, 2025 mandate for leadership, the executive orders that basically revoked the $15 minimum wage for federal contractors, who it hurts, who it benefits, little one-liners you can say, which is fantastic. The 1 in 4 hiring freeze, the library and education assault, the meritocracy lie, and just things like that. This is a PowerPoint wage, kind of what we went through, but it gives a little bit more visual aid. So that's actually kind of the same thing. MAGA's greatest hits, part 2. What about as the framework? Every time they say, what about Biden? So you're not upset with the behavior, you just want the behavior to be done by your party. You're admitting it's illegal. You're justifying the illegality because you think Biden did it. There's arguments, abortion, healthcare, facts with receipts, Medicare, tax cuts, what they told you, what actually happened. These are things that you might come across at your holiday party where it says they're both bad, especially when they get pushed in a corner, or I didn't really have a choice. They were both bad choices. Well, you've got a little bit of some backup so you don't get them off the hook. People say fake news, so you can do some rebuttals. So those are kind of good. Executive orders is a good one. Prominent executive orders from January of 2025 to December. Yesterday when I did this, there's quite a few actually. I don't think that they're all of them because there was a lot, but there's a lot here. Well, maybe it might be all of them. I don't know. This could be all of them, but it comes with receipts and it comes with links and everything like that. So this is pretty comprehensive. There's some like infographics here, kind of. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you use it. I hope you get some good talking points.